What's up, witches? Celeste of the Silver Cord here, and I'm going to be doing a little special for Imbolc here. This is going to be a special reading for Divine Masculines and the Divine Feminine. Now, I went to go do one of these for Yule, and I ended up deleting them. This is a very touchy areas for a lot of people, but after speaking with some of my moderators and my coven members in the Silver Cord, they really encouraged me that if something scares you, generally it's something usually you should do. I mean, unless you're putting your life in danger. But a lot of us have been dealing with balancing our divine masculine and our divine feminine energies. And a lot of us have made connections with others. If you're a divine feminine, you've made a connection with the divine masculine, and vice versa. And one of the first things we notice when we kick open that door in that connection, besides the energy that comes through, you realize you're sitting there staring at a big old mirror of yourself. And any insecurities you have are pinged, and your shadow just leaps out. Now for me, I have a lot of masculine in my chart. I got 5 masculines in my charts. I do suggest you go and get yourself, go to like Astrology Cafe or something, a site like that, where you can get your charts done and find out where all your signs lie in all your houses. I'm a Aries Sun, Leo Rising, Sagittarian Moon, and I have my poor heart Venus in Pisces. So I have a lot of masculine energies and a lot of fire energies, but my shadow, in retrospect, is very much a feminine energy. And it is very much attached to my heart emotions. And a lot of women, especially, or those who are of the divine feminine, deal with this aspect. It's most predominant right before your menses. You know, you lose your mind, you get super emotional, you get irrational, you start lashing out at people, you say, you know, weird, mean, hurtful things, stuff to that nature. Men, I notice, do cycle too. They do follow the cycles of the moon. They do suffer from the same outburst, so it might not be as emotional as the feminine outbursts. It's more usually an ego response type of energy. But, yeah, so I'm still stalling because my shadow does not want me to do this, because it makes me very vulnerable. Like I said, I've done a couple of these back in December, and then I went ahead and deleted them and did everybody's signs instead, because it's easier to detach when you're just doing the signs. So, yeah, this is for Imbolc coming up. We still are dealing with the after effects of the new moon with the eclipse and everything back in January, and those lineups are going to be playing a major role for a while now, and we are getting ready to enter into retrograde season. So a lot of shifts are about to happen, and a lot of people are starting to feel the pressure of these shifts coming, and the energy that comes off of all of this. And that energy can also lead us to irrational, angry outbursts, because if you do not focus your energy into a positive area, then it will find other outlets to escape, and that will result in emotional, angry outbursts. So definitely be on the lookout for that while we're dealing with this. I know a lot of readers have been talking about, you know, how the masculine energy needs to do work, and how the feminine energy has been doing all this work and all this shadow work and blah, blah, blah. But understand that within you, you carry both the masculine and the feminine energies. So that directly plays along with the fact that you have to do work too. So if you're in these twin flame sites or these divine masculine, divine feminine sites, and you're sitting there and you're complaining about how your lover is so unevolved and blah, 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 understand that that is you too. That is areas you need to work on too. Because if you are in a divine masculine, divine feminine connection, understand that it is a mirror of you. That is mirroring your masculine aspects back at you. So don't be so quick to think like you are so much more evolved than the other energy that you are dealing with, or the other person you are dealing with. Understand that we all have inner work to still do. That does not change. We are all born imbalanced. No one is born with a perfectly balanced chart. Even if they think they're perfectly balanced, their problem will be ego in the fact that they are balanced. Everybody has a shadow. And your shadow cannot be bottled up, and it cannot be beaten, and you cannot fight with it. The only way to learn to deal with your shadow is learn how to love it. Learn how it has helped you survive all these years. And for a lot of us, where a lot of the emotional work needs to come from is childhood trauma. Because a lot of people have bottled up their inner child and locked it up in the basement with, guess who? Your shadow. You left your traumatized inner child, because you couldn't deal with the emotions of it, locked up in the inner basements of your mind with your shadow that you also try to deny and try to hide and try to fight with. And if you continue to do this, both your inner child and your shadow will bubble itself up and break out here and there. And depending on how much work you have been doing and how much power you have managed to manifest will depend on how much they lash out. Alright, so this is the energies that we are all facing. This is both masculine and feminine that I'll be going through first. Alright, I'm going to flip these all back around because I had reset this deck, so I must have dealt out upside down. I'm an intuitive reader. Don't tell me how to read my own cards. Alright. See, I did a practice reading before this, and I tried to, reground and recenter myself, and the same cards still came out. Just goes to show you it doesn't matter if a reader drops a card and doesn't read it. If it is meant for you, it is still going to come out. So starting off here, we have the Five of Rods. Conflict. And look who's fighting. You have the masculine, you have a feminine shadow, and then beneath it, you have two children battling in with both of them. This is just what I was talking about. We talk about that the masculine needs to do so much work. Understand the masculine is battling, and it is battling you. Your feminine shadow that is making it feel less than worthy. Because when you look at them, you feel less than worthy. And then you have the two children down here. Now these two are friends, and they are fighting together to try and stop these two from fighting anymore. So this is the inner turmoil that everybody is dealing with right now if you're in these divine relationships and you are not coming into union. Understand, your inner children like each other. They get along just fine. They don't hold all those judgments that come along with being an adult and all that resentment and jadedness from bad relationships. Okay? So you have up here, you have the masculine and feminine fighting each other. The feminine feels like a clown. The masculine trying to hold steady to its ego and its persona. And then down here, you have your inner children trying to get y'all to stop. It is time to end these cycles. It is time to look to the wisdom of the owl, the transformation energy of the moth and the butterfly. Understand that death and life do get along as well. They are also a balance. And it is time to close out these cycles so that we can enter new healthy cycles. More of the battle. The Three of Swords. An unevenness of power. One realizing these battles are not theirs to fight and having a hard time turning their back away to allow the masculine energies to finish dealing with their own shadows and their own shadow aspects. Because you can love yourself as much as you want, but if the other side of your mirror is still fighting, you'll still be in pain and you'll still be in sorrow. Coming into after the battle, the Emperor. Check out the children dancing and playing in the background. You got the Emperor sitting on his throne, ruling over his kingdom. I like this card too because it's also the Aries card when you have the ram. The ram doesn't fight the wolves. What the ram will do when it is scared or when it is threatened is it will climb up the edge of a cliff. And it will just sit and watch and wait for the wolves to finally get hungry enough to go find some other conquest. So this is a Bajer coming into the ego. And finding the ego helps you find your self-worth because you need that, like I said, you need your shadow. And not only do you need to love your shadow, you need to allow your shadow to love you, to love a little bit of those narcissistic traits. And not narcissism in the point where you're trying to control others, but the traits where you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, yeah, oh yeah, I do like this about myself, and I like that about myself. And focusing on areas that you do love about yourself. It could be physical aspects. You could really love your eyes. You could really love your legs. You could really love how smart you are and how much you have overcome. This is an emperor that has overcome these battles, and these are the energies that you are being invited into. Come into. But directly in correspondence to that, we also have the Four of Pentacles. Now this is finances. This is worrying about somebody taking your finances, taking your money, taking things from you and not being fair, and you're looking back at them and going, ooh, look at them, they're going to take my stuff, I need to protect my stuff, I need to protect my space and my money and mine. Now this is a dangerous energy because this is playing on with the I'm the ruler, I'm the king, this is mine. And then directly, if you're not careful in these energies, you can develop the severe narcissistic tendencies of not wanting to share and give to the other, wanting to defend what's yours so fiercely that you're causing another conflict in the connection. Alright, so I have a deck out here for the feminines and a deck for the masculines. We'll start with the feminines first. See how the feminines are dealing with these energies. seeking balance is a constant. It just is a constant energy. Energy is like water. And no matter what vessel you pour water into, it will seek to level itself out. You can rock it back and forth. It will seek to balance itself out. The tides are evident of water constantly sinking to balance itself out between the rotations of the earth, the pull of the equator, and the pull of the moon as it shifts around. It pulls it in and it pulls it out. It's a constant ebb and flow of seeking balance. So that is really what is playing in here. We all need to find that balance between our divine feminine and our divine masculine. And you'll find that when you are facing your comfort zone and you are having a hard time trying to get out of it, like I did when I was coming into doing these readings, I found all kinds of things to distract myself with. I painted my nails, which I almost never do. Actually, I've never really even had nails most of my life. So that's where those procrastination comes up. So you really need to keep a focus on whatever it is that's calling you to do something that you know is going to make you procrastinate. We have the Four of Pentacles reversed here again. And in this deck, it's bitten. It's bitten and you've gotten a taste for something. But at this point, with it being reversed, this is very much a taste for wanting more and wanting more and wanting more, to the point where it's an imbalance. You're not giving as much as you're taking. Five of Pentacles. Now, this comes with insecurity and worrying about instability and paranoia, and this is essentially a fear of giving up your power. Now, this is for the divine feminines, remember. This is a fear of giving up your power, because a lot of us have sacrificed ourselves and sacrificed our divine feminine to men that were not worthy. And we put a lot of energy in trying to build up men who did not use our energy properly, and a lot of us have been abused and a lot of us have been used. And this is a fear that we still carry, and this is what is preventing us from closing this cycle, with it being over the closed card. Eight of Pentacles. She's upset because she has been working so hard, and you have built a lot for yourself, and you should be proud of yourself. And stop worrying about the masculine battling itself. That is his battle to do. This is a masculine energy within you that you were using. Some of us, our divine masculine connections are just with spirit self. They're not with an actual another person. But that energy is still battling within itself. It's with them, with males, it is the youth, the warrior, and the sage. And the sage and the warrior are still at battle, and the youth is still left on the sidelines right now. So don't focus so much on what they need to do, and allow them to find their balance. They will. You keep working on you, and you get over this sorrow of their battle that you're not involved in, and that's not something you can fix for them. They need to fix that themselves. Or that energy within you, give it loving energy so that it can find a balance for itself, so it stops fighting. And don't carry that sorrow with you. Concentrate on what you have built, and honor what you have built and what you have done for yourself, be it whether you built a business or you're working and you're getting raises and stuff like that, or you've been working on yourself and you've been enjoying the benefits of your new healthy routines and stuff like that. Focus on all the hard work that you have been doing, and allow that to give you the energy to keep pushing forward. And we got the Three of Swords over the Emperor energy here. And this is heartbreak and separation and grief. And it's almost as if when the emperor sits upon his throne, he's elevated himself so much that you feel this separation from them. And that's the empath and the narcissist story. The empath absorbs all the negative energy, and the narcissist is able to raise himself up on that energy and just elevate just themselves. And this causes a separation of self and a separation in this connection that causes you a lot of grief and a lot of sorrow. And then over the 4 here, over the mind, if you're dealing with the narcissist. For the divine feminines, we have the King of Cups here. And this is taking responsibility for your own cup. And this is nurturing your own flower. And this is in order to overcome this sorrow and grief here, and the fact that they have been a bit of a miser towards you and withheld from you, that caused you to waver in your emotions. This is you realizing that your cup is your responsibility. And if your cup is drained or your cup is spilled by somebody else, taking responsibility, the fact that you handed your cup over, you handed your flower over to somebody else to take care of, and they didn't. So this is you coming into your own power and realizing it is up to you to water your own garden, and it is up to you to be in control of your own emotions. We're all seeking that balance, and if you are unbalanced in any way, he will be unbalanced in another way that will directly mirror you. All right. Masculine's turn. I would say I have a lot of masculine energy, and it's a constant battle that I am trying to find, because I have always been told to be more feminine, that I like to wear t-shirts and jeans and ball caps, and people are like, you know, guys are always like, why do you dress like a dude? And it's like, you know, the same reason you dress like a dude. It's comfortable. It's comfortable to wear sweatshirts and hoodies and ball caps, you know? Oh, why don't you want to look like a peacock all the time and have all this attention on you all the time? Well, sometimes we don't want to. We don't want that attention. Sometimes we'd like to be noticed for something else. And I'm sure guys feel the same when guys go from wearing humdrum outfits to when you guys get dressed up nice, or you guys put some effort into, even if you're wearing your sweats, you know, wearing a nice pair of matching sweats with a nice matching tank top and a matching sweatshirt and a matching ball cap, because you're peacocking. You want the attention. You want to look and feel pretty. And that is a hard thing for you guys to admit, because that is your divine feminine shining out, going, look how pretty I am. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No one likes to hear that they have both energies within them, but you do. Don't care how tough you are, you've got it. And that is an energy I know you guys must be seeking to balance as well. As the feminines need to balance their own masculine energy in order to balance the connection, the masculines also too need to balance not only their masculine energy, but balance your feminine energy and recognize where your shadow has done her wrong. And a lot of guys, it's hard to admit, because when you enter this spiritual path, you end up seeing all the damage that you have done to women throughout the years. And that is something you need to face, embrace, acknowledge that you changed. Because if that is something that you're moving away from now, or you have been working to move away from because you no longer want to be that person that makes shallow connections anymore, you want to make genuine connections. When you carry that guilt, that is when you start resonating the frequency of being used yourselves. All right. For you guys, here we go. Now this is the conflict card that we had at the very beginning. This is over the Five of Rods. We have the Ace of Wands reversed. And this is seeking to find that connection again. You've lost the level of the connection that used to really inspire you to do whatever it is you've been doing. And now you are trying to find it again so that you can get back into this manifesting energy of manifesting prosperity and earthly things around you. And it has been dimmed down a bit from all this conflict between the divine feminine and you battling. Nine of Pentacles reversed. This is not giving gratitude. This is a lack of attitude of gratitude. This is a lack of not seeing what you have overcome. This is not recognizing the power that was given to you from others. And this also will put you in a frequency of lack, which will dull your shine a little bit there. And that is definitely something you want to get back into. Now this is towards the past. So this side of the reading is kind of the energies that we're coming out of. So you're trying to come out of this. You're trying to turn this around and trying to be more grateful for what it is that you have been given and get back into that state of luxury there. Nine of Pentacles is a direct correspondent to the Nine of Cups energy too. Now here we go. For the Divine Masculines, you are battling within yourselves. And this is coming with the Ace of Swords here. So you have power and victory and clarity coming your way to bring you major transformation with the butterfly here. And this is beautiful because this butterfly is flying over a snow field with its energy coming out, the energy wave coming out behind it. So this is perfect with Imbolc coming up, the rebirth of that goddess energy. A lot of people do suffer from seasonal depression when the ground is cold and it's covered in snow. So this Imbolc, you can really grasp into that rising goddess energy, honor your divine feminine within you a little bit, nurture her, help her rise up through the snow, seize on this energy here of power and victory. And power and victory is going to come from clarity of the fact that you've been fighting within yourself. Your divine feminine has not been casting any negative energy at you. Well, some of you she may have, but understand that that is a mirror reflection of the divine feminine within you. That judgment you feel is coming from within you. Over the Emperor here, the Six of Pentacles. Generosity, charity, giving. Moving forward. She's in her kingdom here. And this is finding it within you to be giving again. Finding it within you to love that divine feminine energy within you. To be able to put on a nice outfit and feel good about yourself and not feel silly for being all dressed up and matching and just, you know, remembering that every girl is crazy about a sharp dress man. Just as men enjoy seeing women dressed nicely and looking cute and everything else like that, so do women. And this is the generosity card too, of not withholding so much from that inner divine feminine, and being able to be giving and generous to those around you. And being able to do that will bring you back into this transformative energy and move you away from this attitude of lack of gratitude. Final cards. And this is over the Four of Pentacles card. You have the Four of Cups reversed. You're not taking enough time to be still and to contemplate. You're not having enough apathy for yourself and enough for others. That is what creates this energy. Because you're not taking enough time to sit clearly within yourself and see exactly what it is you are doing and what you want to give towards and what you don't want to give towards. And you're not balancing out what you're being generous with, and you're not balancing out that attitude of gratitude with the attitude of lack. That's why this Four of Cups is reversed. So simply to turn this around, all you need to do is put in a little bit of meditation. If you're a divine feminine watching this, this is taking some time to put some contemplation into the fact that if you are mad at your masculine, you are not giving loving energy to your masculine. It is a mirror reflection of what your shadow has had you sacrifice you to. And that is why you're judging your masculine so harshly. Understand, when you kicked open those doors, all you found was a mirror of yourself. So definitely take some time to balance those out. Let's see if we can get a couple of advice cards for everybody now. This is the joint energy, the combined energy. What advice can we give to everybody? Give it a shuffle. I'm getting the message in of the divine feminines have been sitting here boasting in all these tarot readings where people focus on these energies of how evolved they are spiritually. And all the masculines have been boasting at how far they are ahead at manifesting. And don't you realize you cannot outplay your divine counterpart? You're all at the same level. Oh, yes, you are. Be mad about that all you want. You can think you're farther ahead than they